Okay, you're a big fella. Oh, that's not good.
I'm Adam Sessler, but once again, that's not important. What is important is a dear friend and the studio head at the Coalition, Rob Fergusson, to talk here about Gears of War 4 and Gears of War Definitive Edition. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing very well. You know, the Gears thing helps out as well. Obviously, you helped shepherd all the Gears of War games through at your time at Epic Games. What is it like to kind of revisit it, but revisit it from a new studio?
Oh, it's great. I mean, it's one of the nice things about being at the Coalition. We've got a whole team of just sort of fresh faces who are like enamored with the franchise as if it was day one again. You know, it's like there's an energy that's just palpable inside the studio. It's not like, oh, we've been doing this for 7 years. We're happy with what we've done. We want to move on. Now it's like, oh my God, we get to do Gears of War. And so there's just this level of excitement that you haven't seen in a long time. So it's great.
I mean, how much are you trying to capture of the older ones, and how much do you want to try to push it forward and find new areas in the franchise?
Well, for Gears 4, I mean, we looked at and listened to what our fans were saying, which they were saying like, hey, look at Gears 1. You know, Gears 1 was special because there was mystery and tension and fear. And by the time you get to 2, and especially when you get to 3, the locusts are not really scary anymore. They're kind of like soldiers in a World War II game. That you're like, oh, I know how to beat them, and I just have to shoot them and move on. But so we wanted to kind of go back to that, and that's what you sort of saw in our tease today on stage, is this idea of going back to tension and fear. Now for the remastered, the Ultimate Edition, for that, we really wanted to bring sort of taking everything to the next level. We wanted to look at it from a nostalgia purpose, like when you think about, oh, Gears 1, it's a 9, 10-year-old game. I want to bring that feeling back, so we didn't redo the VO, whether there was mistakes or not. We said we're going to keep the VO, but then we sort of tried to sand all the rough edges off, and we redid all the cinematics. We modernized the gameplay and multiplayer. We're 60 frames per second, at 1080p. We're on dedicated servers. You're able to do a lot of stuff. There's much smoother cover. Oh, I remember Gears 1 being great, and when I pick it back up, you go like, oh, it's still great because now it's been brought to be contemporary. So that was really sort of the driving design philosophy for the Ultimate Edition.
So with Gears 4, the demo, which was quite striking and impressive, and you have a lot of almost what seems negative space that's slowly being revealed, it creates tension, but from a design perspective, that seems fairly challenging on your end, sort of what gets revealed when and how you telegraph information to the player.
Yeah, that is a huge challenge. I mean, that was the thing that we were trying to get across. I mean, one of the things when you notice in the demo, if you look at it, we have 2 moons in the sky, and there's a bunch of different reasons for that, but one of them is purely technical, which is you want more light in the world, even at night. And so having 2 moons gives you extra light sources, right? But you want to play with that sort of shadows and darkness and try to build up that idea of like mystery and unknown.
What we saw there, while it was very familiar as Gears, new characters, new creatures, how much of it is new and how much of it is stuff that we will recognize from previous Gears games?
I really can't talk that much about it as a tease. JD and Kate are the 2 characters, and we wanted people that when they saw that, the blue lights walking down the alley, and then go like, and see the Lancer teeth go, oh, it's Gears, and then, oh, but it's not Marcus, and then and sort of go through that sort of emotional ride of like, what is familiar and what is different? What world are they on, and what is it? Where in time is it? And who are these people? Like, we want all those questions talked about. So, yeah, we're not revealing that yet.
I wrote the introduction to the art book for Gears of War 3, where I made the fairly strong statement. I said it was probably the most influential game of last generation. It's because of what you guys did in a cover system, and it really changed how you design and think about an action game. Do you feel a responsibility to sort of maintain that tradition, or is it something that you want to sort of explore or move past, or maybe there's no cover at all? It's a world without, waist-high, barriers for you.
Walls everywhere, yeah. One of the first things I said when I stood up in front of the studio for the first time up in Vancouver was, look, we're not going to chase, we're going to lead. And one of the ways we're going to lead is we're just going to embrace what makes Gears Gears. That might mean that we have a smaller audience because we have chainsaws and we have monsters and we have cover, and maybe that's not for everybody, but it's for us. And so we're just going to embrace it and double down on all that stuff. So we say what we lack in breadth, we make up for in depth, because no fans are more passionate than Gears of War fans. You don't see that many tattoos the way that you see Gears of War tattoos. And so that's really what we're about. We want to be a much stronger, deeper community around what Gears is, instead of trying to change what Gears is.
I actually find that highly admirable, especially as one who really, really loves the franchise. Rod, thank you so much for your time. At the very least, it's coming out next year, 2016?
Yeah, so the Ultimate Edition is out August 25th. We're doing a beta this week. And then, yeah, the Gears 4 is holiday 2016.
All right, I cannot wait. Thank you so much for your time.